Kilo Romeo 4,
There was quite a few stations. Loudest one, try it again.
there was quite a few stations. 4, Hotel.
Hotel. Come back with a call sign again, please.
Roger, Jim. Name is Dave. Kilo Romeo 4, Hotel. I've checked in before with you, but just wanted to get a check on my levels that I've been toying with, and wondered perhaps if you could tell me the dynamic range and any suggestions you might have.
I would start by rolling off about 3 clicks on the bottom end. About 3 clicks off of the bottom end EQ, Roger.
Okay, Jim, I'm running an outboard EQ. I've got the ubiquitous 7300 that you love so much, which is a fantastic radio, I think. However, I'm running that flat, and I've got an 8-band outboard EQ. So I'm running 50 hertz, 100 hertz, 200 and 400 flat at this time.
All right, I would roll out below 100. I would roll out at 100 cycles, Roger.
Okay, you want me to take the 100 down?
Yeah, just roll off after 100.
Okay, Jim, I've bumped 50 and 100 hertz down to about minus 4 dB.
Roger. Okay, that sounds good. Now I would crank in. Do you have any top end to go?
Yeah, I got more of 1.6, 2.4, and 3.2.
All right. You got a 2.6 and a 3.2?
That is correct, Roger.
Well, even though you're not going to be there, theoretically, I would take that. Is that a parametric?
It is, yes, sir. And one thing is that I'm using an RE20 mic, so that's really giving me a lot of natural bass, I think.
Right. Well, let's work on the top end for right now. I would take that parametric and run it about halfway between 2.6 and 3.2. I would put the parametric at that point, and then I would bring up the push to about a 3 or 4 push from over where you are now on your top EQ.
Okay, Jim, test 1, 2. What you got now?
Oh, I think we're getting there. Now, do you have your compressor in line and running it at about a 3?
I do, Jim. I have the compressor at 3, and of course the outboard unit has a compressor as well. So what I'm doing is just checking to see, running about 5 to 7 dB compression is what I think I'm doing.
It looks to be about 2.5 to 3 dB dynamic range, which is be your average peak modulation would be about 85%. So that sounds real good. And you're in the widest mode possible. And I'm trying to think of anything else that you might want to do. Take a look at your ALC as long as you're in the neighborhood with your hand on the mic gain control. And you want that ALC to, after we fiddled with EQ, you want to readjust or check that ALC to be sure that you're mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, Jim, I'm going to do that now. And talking, I tell you, man, this thing's got a brick wall, I do believe. I'm about a little over 2/3 scale there.
Okay, I think maybe your front compressor is a little bit too high. You're not running your internal compressor, Roger?
Yeah, I am, because if I did not cut it in, I was not getting any audio.
Okay, I would reduce the compression on your outboard unit, Roger.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, I'm down now about a click or so. How's this, Jim?
You're running about 2 dB dynamic range, which is fat, but maybe just a tad fat. It's almost threatening. So maybe turn that outboard compressor down just a little bit more.
Okay, I'll stand by 1 second. Okay, Jim, I got to click down on that. KR4HH testing 1, 2.
Roger, sounded good. I would go back on my top end EQ and put two more clicks positive boost on your top end EQ.
Okay, I bumped up the 2.4 and the 3.2K, and I'm about maxed out on those.
Roger that. I think that's sounding pretty good. What mic are you running?
I've got an old RE20 that a friend gave me at a real good price, so I just thought I'd use it. I really do like this mic.
Roger, yes, that's a nice condenser microphone there. You're still pretty fat. That's the opposite usually of what I'm working for. But again, just maybe if you, like I say, if you're running the internal compressor at a 3, I would pull back a little bit on the outboard compression, just a click down more.
Okay, Jim, one more click down on the outboard compressor. How is this?
I think you're getting a little more motion into your modulation there. You know, the thing is, if you really bring that dynamic range down, what's happening is it's fattening. The less dynamic range, the fatter your signal is, just because you know, we're talking the compression ratio, and we're also talking modulation percentages. And what you want to do, the average peak modulation is the difference between the loudest part of your modulation and the least amount of your modulation. So when we're talking a 3 dB range, that's pretty fat there. You could go to 2.5, and that would be you know, a little fatter. But then you start to sound like you're processed. And what I'm looking for is a nice loud signal, but that it doesn't sound, quote, processed, end quote. Roger?
Yeah, I got you, Jim. Okay. Well, that's a good bit of tweaking there. I sure do appreciate it. So I guess I'm, do I need the Gorilla Glue at this point or not?
Oh, I think the tape would do for right now. I mean, you can always get to it. Once you super glue it, it's tough to ever move it, Roger.
Okay, well, I'll just use Scotch tape, not even the duct tape at this point. How's that?
Well, now, I'm not sure how much confidence you have in that. I would go with the Gorilla Tape myself.
Okay, we'll try to find it. Thank you, Jim. You're always a big help. Appreciate it so much, and have a great weekend, KR4HH.
That was KR4HH?
Roger, Jim. Dave, KR4HH.
Roger, sir. 3's that way. And if you get a chance, check back in next Friday, and we'll compare notes and see how everything's going. 3's for now. And have a great weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Qso-Vlog network. If you've got a radio, you want to check out the audio we are recording now until 5, so give me a shout, KC9VKV.